What if I told you that 5 simple pennies, yes, the same coins hiding in your drawers or jars, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today? Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's real. Certain Lincoln pennies, especially those struck in specific years and mint locations, hold shocking value in the collector world. In this video, we're breaking down 5 valuable pennies you absolutely need to look for. We'll reveal why they matter, what grades bring the big bucks, and how to spot one that could change your luck. Let's begin with a coin from the 1970s that's often underestimated. 1 coin. 1973. D. Lincoln penny. This penny was minted in Denver, marked with the small d just below the year. In 1973, over 3.5 billion of these were struck, so most people assume it's common. But here's the collector's secret. It's not the quantity that matters, it's the condition and color. Lincoln memorial cents from this era in brilliant uncirculated, red condition are incredibly hard to find due to copper's tendency to tarnish over time. Here's what you want to know. A circulated 1973 D penny typically won't fetch more than a cent or two. INMS 64 red values start to climb around $10 to $15. A solid MS 65 red can sell for $25 to $35. Jump to MS 66 red, and collectors may pay up to $100. But the real jackpot? A pristine MS 67 red example. Those have reached prices of $400 to $650 at auctions. And if you're wondering how rare that is, less than 1 in 10,000 1973 D pennies are preserved well enough to earn an MS 67 red grade from PCGS or NGC.SO next time you're looking through change or old rolls. Keep an eye out for that 1973 Denver mint mark in glowing red. It could be a copper-colored payday. Next up is the 1975 D. Lincoln penny, another coin that might look completely ordinary but hides serious value in top condition. Over 4.5 billion of these pennies were minted in Denver, making them common in circulation, but uncommon in high grade. The big money here lies in mint state red condition, in MS 65 red. It usually goes for $15 to $25. At MS 66 red, that value can jump to $70 to $90. The highest known grade for this coin is MS 67 red, and those have reached $350 to $500 in auctions, especially from well-known grading services like PCGS and NGC. Why the high price? Because it's nearly impossible to find a flawless 1975 D penny with perfect luster, no spots, and sharp details. That's what collectors are willing to pay big money for. So don't ignore those bright red 1975 D pennies in your stash. The next one you find might be worth far more than a cent. Coming in at number 3 is the 1979 D. Lincoln penny, a coin from the late 70s that's quietly gaining attention from collectors, especially when preserved in stunning mint state red condition. The 1979 Denver Mint struck a massive number of these coins, over 4.1 billion to be exact. At first glance, that makes it seem like a common piece of pocket change. But when it comes to collecting, quantity means nothing if the quality is rare. Most of these pennies circulated for decades, picking up dings, spots, and discoloration. That's why truly gem-quality examples, with bold strike details and blazing red luster, are extremely hard to come by today. Here's where the value stacks up. In regular circulation, this coin is still just 1 cent, but in MS 65 red, it's often worth $10 to $20. A MS 66 red example can pull in $50 to $75. The elite MS 67 red, graded by PCGS or NGC, can sell for anywhere from $300 to $500, with some auction listings pushing beyond $600 depending on appeal and demand. There are also collectors searching for very specific die varieties or minor errors on the 1979 D penny, such as die cracks, filled D-mint marks, or off-center strikes, which can boost value dramatically. Even small anomalies can lead to a coin selling for hundreds of dollars more than its base grade value. So if you spot a brilliant red 1979 D penny with no contact marks, full original shine, and a strong strike, don't toss it in with the rest. Get it graded. It might just surprise you. Now we move into the early 1980s, a time when U.S. coins were shifting rapidly in terms of composition, strike quality, and collectability. Our fourth coin is the 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. which, like most coins from that facility before 1982, bears no letter beneath the date. What makes this penny interesting isn't just its place in history, it's the fact that 1981 was one of the final years pennies were made entirely of 95% copper. Starting in 1982, the U.S. Mint began transitioning to the current zinc-based penny with a thin copper coating, making 1981 one of the last heavyweight copper issues. Here's what collectors should know. If you have a circulated 1981 no-mint mark penny, it's worth its weight in copper, just over 2 cents. But once you cross into the world of mint state red coins, the value grows fast. INMS 65 red. This penny is typically worth $15 to $25. In MS 66 red, it climbs to $60 to $80. And in MS 67 red. This coin has sold at auction for $400 to $650, depending on the coin's shine, strike quality, and absence of carbon spots. But here's something most collectors miss. There are two major varieties of the 1981 no-mint mark penny, the Type 1 and Type 2 reverse. Type 1 has the older, fuzzier-looking lettering on the reverse, especially in the word America. Type 2, however, has sharper, clearer letters and is much scarcer, making it the more desirable variety for high-grade examples. If you come across a 1981 penny in brilliant condition, check the reverse closely. If it's a Type 2 reverse in MS 67 red, you may be looking at a coin that's worth far more than most people would guess, even over $700 in some sales. The takeaway? Don't overlook these pre-1982 Philadelphia pennies. With full red shine, flawless surfaces, and the right variety, your plain-looking 1981 cent could be a high-value collector's prize. Finishing strong, we land on the 1981 D-Lincoln penny, a coin that sits right at the crossroads of two eras in U.S. coinage. Like its Philadelphia minted sibling, this penny was struck in the last full year before the U.S. Mint switched from heavy copper cents to lighter, zinc-based coins in 1982. But unlike the no-mint version, this one carries the D mint mark just below the date, indicating it was minted in Denver, a facility known for producing well-struck coins with strong details. In 1981. The Denver Mint produced over 5.3 billion of these pennies. So yes, finding one in your spare change is easy. But here's the twist. Finding one in high mint state red condition? That's where the real treasure lies. Let's break down what collectors are paying for top-grade versions. A circulated 1981 D penny has little to no added value, typically just 1 to 2 cents. Maybe 3 if copper prices spike. INMS 64 red, the price jumps to around $10 to $15. MS 65 red examples often fetch $20 to $35. At MS 66 red, the value increases significantly to $70 to $90. And in Elite MS 67 red, a 1981 D penny has sold for $450 to $700, depending on auction timing and buyer demand. But what drives that kind of price for such a recent coin? It all comes down to flawless preservation. MS 67 red coins show absolutely no distracting marks, maintain full copper luster, and feature razor-sharp strike details, particularly around Lincoln's coat and hair, and the reverse's Lincoln Memorial columns. Another reason collectors chase this coin? It marks the end of an era. 1981 was the final year before the Mint began experimenting with the copper-plated zinc planchets. That makes 1981 D one of the last full-weight copper pennies, giving it extra historical value to collectors who want to own the final issue in copper before the big change in 1982. Some coin rolls from bank vaults or inherited collections still hold untouched 1981 D specimens. And if you happen to spot one that looks bright red and flawless, it's worth checking under a loupe. Getting it certified by PCGS or NGC might just turn your penny into hundreds of dollars overnight. So before you toss aside that shiny 1981 D Lincoln cent, take a moment to